Hello class and welcome to week 2. Week 2 is jam-packed because we'll get started with a bang here with these two topics. We have business model and idea generation and demand and competition. And then you'll also have your project 1 to start along with a weekly reflection. So I'm going to go through each of these. Your introduction tab is just going to walk you through the week. I won't go into that. Feel free to review that each week. But we will start in this link for week 2, business model and idea generation. I really do enjoy this, the first part of this semester. It's fun to have a blank canvas and think there are a million possibilities for you to follow. What this will do, we're going to start with the case-based method where you'll walk through this same case of a group of students that are considering different business models, and this will introduce you to the idea of a handful of online models that are going to be a little different from your traditional business model. And so what you'll do is you'll read this case of the online business part 1. I have it pulled up here so you can see, and you'll read through this introduction to various case types. And a fun-filled fact is that this man right here, his name is Rafa. He was my Elders Quorum president when I was attending BYU Idaho, and so I was overjoyed to see his face pop up again on this case. We used to give him a hard time about being the face of BYU Idaho while he was our Elders Quorum president. But that is neither here nor there. What we want to focus on is the assignment. Your assignment, after you read that, is to make a recommendation. So you are going to pretend you're the 4th member of the group, and you're going to make a recommendation on whether they should choose a business model first and then brainstorm a product, or brainstorm their product and then choose a business model. Please note, there is not, one of those answers is not necessarily better than the other. The grade you earn on this project is that you provide the rationale for your decision and acknowledge shortcomings, what you don't know, what you do know. But this is where we start into that exercise of real world analysis. It's about making a decision and defending that decision. So there's some information down here on different business models, very helpful. This is a fascinating video, Russell Brunson and his secret magic box. Please note that I do differ from Russell Brunson's theory a little bit, and that you'll note he does not necessarily provide something of value in his secret magic box. And I think you'd find short-term gain and long-term difficulty if you followed that exact theory, but it does describe the power of online business, so it can be instructive in that way. So that is your first assignment. It's an essay, double-spaced, one-inch margins, and it's really about providing that rationale. You'll have a discussion board based on that. I won't go through these instructions every time because they're fairly consistent, discussion board to discussion board, but this first time I want to walk you through it. So there's a proposed recommendation from a previous student. So basically part of the submission of their assignment after reading that business case is mentioned here, and then you can agree or disagree with it. And so your first post should be what we call significant. Means no real fluff. You want substantial sentences. Provide an initial recommendation, and so here's some summary points you should include in that recommendation. And then by midweek, you should reply to at least 2 group members' posts, and follow which should follow these guidelines down here. And that's the basic pattern of discussion board. You'll have that initial post, something to respond to, and then you'll respond to your classmates. I will say the more you embrace those discussion boards, the more beneficial they will be. I'm aware there's a lot of discussion boards, and for some students they feel like that's great, others struggle with it, but as you embrace that opportunity to give meaningful contribution to those discussions, you do get a lot out of those discussion boards. So let's jump into our second topic, which is demand and competition. This will be not just a case, you will study a case as part of this, but you will need to create a Google Ads account. Google Ads has a tool called the Keyword Planner, and we use it extensively in this course. And so you'll need a Google Ads account. Keep in mind, we will use a Google Ads account later on this semester to launch a campaign, and we will actually purchase ad space for that. The challenge in Google Ads is that they continue to push you to enter payment information right off the bat. If you want to do that, knowing that you will be launching an ad later on this course, but you don't need to pay right now, you can enter your payment information and get access to the Keyword Tool Planner. If you want to wait to enter your payment information until you're ready to launch an ad, that's fine too. These videos walk you through how to get access to Keyword Tool Planner without entering in payment information. It is tricky, and Google Ads makes it trickier every semester. They continue to update this process. So you can follow these videos and get access to that. Or if you want to enter payment information knowing that we'll have to pay for Google Ads space later on this semester, you can do that as well. It's really up to you what's easiest. So after getting access to the Keyword Tool Planner, you will review the part 2 of the same case. I have that opened here, the case of the online business, part 2. And so this just walks you through an extension of what you studied in the first assignment. Then you will write an essay on that, but you'll support it with an analysis and what we call a demand and competition spreadsheet. The Keyword Planner on Google Ads will give you access to all this information. You enter in a keyword and it will tell you the competition level, meaning how many other websites are out there doing the same thing, and monthly impressions, how many times people search for this term. And this gives you a good idea of the current competitive state of a certain topic. And so if you're thinking about selling ukuleles, well, there's not much competition out there according to Google, but there's a ton of monthly impressions, it seems, 823,000 impressions each month. Versus a guitar, which also has low competition, but 13 million impressions. And so you can compare two different topics, different keywords in those, and you can get more specific because people wanting to buy a ukulele may not just type in the word ukulele. They may be looking for something specific. So you will fill out this same type of spreadsheet, only you won't do it with ukulele and guitar. You will do it with snowboards and chess. And please note these monthly impressions are in exact numbers. These videos show you how to use the Keyword Tool Planner, but you'll need to download the numbers in order to get exact numbers. The initial numbers will be presented to you in a range rather than exact numbers. And that is that's really the only tricky part of this assignment. So for this assignment, you'll need to list at least 10 keywords for snowboards, 10 keywords for chess, show the competition and the monthly searches for each one in this same format. So that, along with your essay, will make up your assignment. And that's a format we'll follow throughout the first few weeks of this course. On a lot of your assignments, you'll have an analysis turned in a spreadsheet format, and then you'll have an essay recommendation along with it. So you'll have a demand and competition discussion board that will follow much of the same pattern that we did previously, a new question to respond to, or new response, I should say, to respond to, and then you'll respond to your classmates as well. Let's jump into project 1. I will not go too far in depth into this, and I'll show you why. You'll see there are videos by another instructor, course administrator, Jason Poole. He does an excellent job of walking through the entire project. You will run out of this web business decision matrix. It has various tabs. It has 8 different tabs, and Brother Poole will walk you through all of them here. So I used to do a separate video on this, but then these were created, and I think they're very well done. So this is, again, a project I recommend you start on early. The first tab, brainstorming and screening web business ideas, is the most intense out of all these, and sometimes students get caught up on that and they forget these other tabs. So please notice there are various tabs in this spreadsheet, all of which need to be filled out completely. So I encourage you to start that early, walk through these videos so you get comfortable with what to do in each tab of the project. If there's anything that trips you up in that, please reach out. I'd be happy to walk you through it. Then the last assignment this week is your weekly reflection. Typically you will just you will simply write your weekly reflection and post it. Since this is your first one, you will need to set up a blog. This can be a blog that you have used for other classes. This should be a free blog. You shouldn't have to pay to set up a specific website for this. So any of the website builders will propose this semester, Wix, Weebly, WordPress, they've all got free options. For your actual business, you won't be able to use a free option. You'll need to purchase the domain name and the product, but for this blog, you don't need to purchase anything. So set up a free online blog. Really the only requirement is that I can access it without putting in a password or anything like that anytime you submit a blog post. That's really the only requirement. So you set up a blog, and then you'll write one that's 150 words in length at least each week, and then you will paste the content of that blog onto here, and you'll also post the URL. So there's 2 parts to this assignment each week: the URL where you've posted this blog online, and the blog content itself. That will be it, and I apologize for the length of this video. They're not all quite this long, but there's so much in week 2. I wanted to make sure I had a chance to walk you through each part of that. So again, please reach out if there's questions about any of these initial assignments, how to do the discussion board, the demand and competition, and gaining access to Google Ad Keyword Planner can be a little tricky. So there's some spots on here that will require some extra focus. But I think we start off with some exciting stuff, and you'll be quite involved this week. Thanks everybody, and I look forward to speaking with you about these topics.